had the opportunity to. It wasn't like I ever was the person that had the power over our interaction. So I always respect that, man. I more recently than anything have been proud to see you make a presence on the internet.
Yes.
As someone who's doing what I'm doing today, interviewing individuals.
Mental health.
Mental health is the key thing.
It's important.
It's very important. I know you have a personal experience, but so how long have you felt like it's been a personal burden of yours to just address mental health in general in the public?
Well, for many years, I've always addressed suicide awareness, suicide prevention and awareness. And I end up getting an interview, from Adam over at No Jumper. And once he heard my story, it just blew him away. It's like he done interviewed 1,000+ people. He's never heard this one. Just was that one that raised the eyebrow, like, wow. And the day the interview it aired, everybody fell in love with it, man. I was getting phone calls because I gave out my number.
Shout out to Adam, because I'm going to say this personally.
For sure. Shout out to Adam.
There's definitely a term that's been coined, culture vulture. And I finally realized why culture vulture is a term.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically because a vulture has a reputation of when someone else makes a kill, then he'll come and bully them and run them off and benefit off the kill of others.
Mm-hmm.
So in the sense of our culture being developed or established and being valuable, we look at those who had no input on establishing it, creating it.
Yeah.
Come on and benefit as culture vultures.
And for real, people look at him like that, and they looking at him from an internet perspective.
But you know what I've often...
Yeah.
I can help make that argument toward him.
Yeah.
What I've often applauded him for is the way he's been inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first that I can pinpoint that has made it his business to, once he's established a platform off of culture that he made appear a vulture of, he's turned around and prepared a table for members of that culture to increasingly grow. He didn't just grab a token. First, it may have seemed like tokenism when it was just your little homie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AD is over there. My nephew is over there.
Shout out to AD.
Yeah.
And I've also want to express that I applaud AD from being able to deal with a lot of things that people that may have been even considered more emotional, some as myself, may have not have dealt with in real time for the greater picture.
Yes.
And I think he's been very effective at bringing about a change of what, at least I personally and what the public a lot have seen, and what they perceived him to be in comparison to other platforms, even bigger or closer. We know who, I don't want to speak no names, but I always gave him, even before you got there, I applauded him for making the effort of really preparing a table for those that have actually created this culture to not only benefit for what he established, but to create.
Yes.
And by the time you came along, I really made my mind to turn a blind eye to a lot of what I didn't approve of with Adam, because I was in so much support. How does it feel to be over there, a part of such a large platform, and to have so much freedom to be yourself?
Well, for one, like I said, when a lot of people, they say what they say about Adam, and a lot of people say it from behind the camera.
Of course.
I know Adam on a personal level. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He definitely got a good heart. Mm-hmm. And he definitely give opportunity to people.
He definitely does. I salute him for that. Good looking Adam for that, definitely.
A real solid one with his lady, with his wife, and an amazing father with his kid.
From the sentiments that I have just with solidness with, matrimony, and just knowing some of the things he's very, very comfortable in dealing with his wife in the industries. I'm gonna leave that alone.
To each his own.
I'm gonna let you give him a salute.
To each his own.
I co-sign every other salute. That one I'm gonna sit out.
Well, to each his own.
Yeah, of course.
Grown people move how they want to.
Oh, my mama, they do.
Talk
your stuff.
Yeah.
And look, when your name is Suicide because you earned it.
Yes.
You understand extremes.
I understand it.
Yeah,
definitely.
So go ahead, just talk your talk.
And when he hit me and offered the opportunity at that time, I really didn't know what I want to do. I had to think on it. It really fell in my lap. But I had been going up to No Jumper. I've been going up there now for like 2 years. every Tuesday,
playing
going up supporting my nephew AD. You know, man, I'm gonna pull up on you. I'm gonna leave the studio. No jumper, 9 minutes away from the studio. I'm gonna pull up on you, nephew. And then it led to an interview, and then it led to an opportunity, and I really decided what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a platform where people can actually call in and talk to me and get advice, not just.
So Adam allowed you to develop your concept of what.
Me, him, and Josh sit down and we had that discussion. He's like, "Well, if you would, do a show, what would it be?" And I told him I want to have that show where people, not just people in the industry, but everyday people. Sometimes we forget about our everyday people with a 9-to-5 job that's not a celebrity, that's not known. We can't forget about them.
How do you find the energy to balance yourself as being a street legend, gang legend, and then to be someone who understands life is celebrity? You've been an independent artist. I don't want to even, try to put no extras on it, but I know how far your career is taking you across the country so young. And then, I mean, how do you balance now? You understand that, okay, we on a public platform where not only people have been through the street shit matter, not only people have been through this industry struggle rather. How do you relate to the everyday person so well? What do you think you get the capacity to understand not only the person that was born and raised in Compton, but someone as diverse as Adam?
For one, the shit I've been through, I know what it feel like to say to yourself, I want to die. I'm finna kill myself, and actually do it. You get that. You get that from celebrities, but you get that a lot from everyday people. That just, I just have a regular job. I just go to work and, come home from work.
More so now than ever.
Out. Yeah, more so now than ever. And this is my calling. I always thought my music was my calling at one point, because the stuff I talked about in my music made people think.
The same message.
Same message.
But when you take the beat out,
yeah,
you broaden your audience.
You broaden your audience. And like I said, same message, because every time I've ever did a song, I've always made sure the lyrics is something that you can actually see.
Oh God, oh my mama, and he's always caused it to be, no matter how dark the story was, there was some inspiration in one bar to let you know there's something next.
It's something next.
Yeah.
And what I finally start realizing, the more I start getting out physically and people seeing me in a physical form, I start really realizing, like, you know what? People's really embracing me, and they're embracing me. People used to embrace me on the street life shit. And I always wanted to make it a notion that when I do leave here, when that day do come, I want to be remembered as, man, this dude was really out here trying to save lives.
Do something right.
Trying to give people advice to want to live, because I've been had this number 17 years. I give it out. People call me all the time, message me all the time. Everyday people. I talk to them.
As much as I've been watching you in the last year or so be researched as a public figure, I've been sitting back blushing, liking it, and then as I've been developing my platform, always assuming that I would, like, in the future, invite you here. So,
and as soon as you hit me, like, let's do it.
Oh God,
come on, man! I ain't gonna think twice.
But it's the point is, you say same number. When I tap the number, immediately, like, bam, you feel me, on my mama. So I'm just saying, I can attest that that's true.
Oh yeah.
You know what I realized too when it come to Crip